looking at an important topic, national income accounting. It is the macroeconomy, meaning that the figure collected from national income will be used by the what? The government. It will be used by the what? The individuals and the firm to know the state of the economy. Now, we are going to look at the definition of national income. So, national income may be defined as the total what? Monetary value of goods and services earned in a country plus the what? The total income generated by all the sector of the economy in a particular what? Year. Is that again at a particular what? Point in time. That is national income. You know that the figure collected from each sector, we have different sectors in the economy. We have the educational sector, the realized income. We have the manufacturing sector, the realized income. We have those in what? In the primary sector, the realized income. And the tertiary what? Sector, they also what? Realized income. So the total income gotten in what? In a year will be summed up together to calculate what? The national income. Now, what are the uses of national income? Why do we carry out national income accounting? Why do the statistics or the demographers come about with what? With the information gotten from what? Various data. Number one, to determine the economic situation. Is that again? National income is used to determine the economic what? Situation of the country. It is used to know whether the country is growing or not in terms of what? Economy. Is that again? When you look at Nigeria economy, we are facing what we call recession. Meaning that what? The economy is what? We are moving to what? Economy what? Shut down. Many businesses are what? Are closing down. Because of what? Inability for them to survive in the harsh economy of Nigeria. Number two, sectoral what? Comparison. Each sector, from the data collected from each sector, is that again? We used to compare their performance. We need to what? Evaluate each of those sectors to know which sectors is doing well, or to know the sector in which the government can what? Invest more or not. Number three, we look at comparison of what? Of economic growth among nations. Now, national income is used to compare the nation economy. Now, when you want to know if Nigeria is doing well in terms of what? Their resources, in terms of their production and distribution, just compare with outside the country. When you compare Ghana economy, the economy is stable. When you compare countries like what? African countries, like South Africa, it is stable. Now, when you look at the overseas, like what? The Canada, when you look at what? The Britain, when you look at what? Germany, and so on and so forth, the economy is stable. And you can compare to check if you are actually what? Moving to growth or what? Or moving to what? Regression. Now, number four, economic planning. The data collected or the information collected from national income is used for what? Short-term or middle-term planning. Is that again? How do we plan? From the data collected, we use what? To plan. Is that again? Now, there's another point again. It reviews the income distribution. National income is used to what? Review income distribution. To know the amount of tax to tax other sectors. Is that again? There are some sectors in the economy that they have to tax for lower. Is that again? And national income helps to review income distribution. Now, when the federal government, out of the money revenue collected, the federal government always what? Distributes income to other states. And there are some other states that get more than other states due to the what? The resources generated by them. Now, we look at another point. National income also reviews per capita income. Now, there is an income generated from the what? Individuals, firms, and government. Is that again? We need to know from their income and expenditure, it will summarize whether the per capita income is increasing or what? Decreasing. Now, national income is also used for what? To check the standard of living. Now, when you check the standard of living of Nigeria, you will realize that what? From the income generated, is that again? And from the expenditures generated, we can compare the standard of living. Now, many people in Nigeria cannot afford for 3 square meals in a day. Why? Because of what? The income generated by them are what? Are poor, or they are underpaid. or there is no job to what to fit in for them. Many of them, majority of the youth are looking for what job, and since they cannot get job, they cannot work, and they cannot contribute to the what the income flow in a year. And lastly, we look at what the uses of what the investors use national income as a guide either to invest in our country. Who is an investor? And investors are those people, they are entrepreneurs. They are those people that have the money. They want to look at the economy to invest. Now, when Buhari said that what he wants to fight corruption, a lot of what investors put away their own resources and move out of the country. Now, what does the investors see? The investors only look at what? The income, look at the expenditure, and look at the output generated in an economy. Because in calculating national income, the total national income, total national output, and total national expenditure, all of them sum up to get the same figure under national income accounting. Likely problems that are encountered during compilation or computation of national income. Number one, inadequate statistical data. Sometimes the inventory management is always a problem. Inability for them to manage those inventory, those goods and services, and inability for them to what? To record the actual figure will affect what? The statistical data collected for what? For national income. Secondly, limitation. There is always limitation posed on national income. For instance, the changes in price. There is always fluctuation of price in our country, and no wonder the amount we pay for these goods in 1 month or the other is always different. You can bear me witness, there is always price war, there is inflation in the market. Dollar is always increasing, and since dollar is always increasing, it will affect our computation of what? Of national income, because we don't have the what? A stable price. Now, number 3, there is problem of what? Depreciation. Now, the method used in calculating depreciation from 1 year to the other is not consistent. The accounting students will bear me witness at all. We have more than 10 methods of calculating depreciation. For example, we have the straight line method. If the country does not adopt the uniform method, like straight line method, like reducing balance method, like some of the year digit method, re-evaluation method, and so on and so forth, they must have a uniform depreciation used in charging or calculating what? National income. Now, there is also a problem of what? Assessment of net income from abroad, to and from. For example, there are some foreign countries, or there are some foreigners in this country. Example, in the construction company like the Las Vegas, like the high tech, like the what? CCECC, those China companies, like Seaway company, like Jivita, like Nestle PLC, and so on. We have those white men here. And they are working here. It means that the total amount of income realized by year has to be computed. One, again, there are also Nigerians working in diasporas. Many Nigerians are in overseas working. So the income generated by them has to be calculated. Now, there's always a problem. Those one calculated outside the country are not what? Are not consistent. They are not accurate. And those one here too, some might not be what? Accurate too. So it will affect our calculation of what? National income. Now, another problem again is what? Double counting. What is double counting? Now, double counting means what? You are recounting the money that has been transferred. For example, when you give a housewife money, or you give the money to the beggar has not contributed to any income, or the housewife has not contributed to any income. It therefore means that what? You are just what? Re-adding that same amount that has been earned by the what? By the owner of that amount. So the problem of double counting, we do not have that in national income, or counting of intermediate products or goods. Now, national income only calculates the final goods and services that have been produced in a given economy during what? In a year. We do not calculate intermediate product. What is intermediate product? For example, any unfinished goods that has not been finally produced, we do not calculate it. That's why we always deduct the what? The intermediate goods, and that of what? The transfer period. The next one again is about what? The presence of predominant what? Farming. Now, subsistence farming. What do you understand by subsistence farming? Subsistence farming means you are cultivating good crops, or you are rearing what? Animals for personal consumption. And since you are consuming it, we cannot know the total income generated by the subsistence farmers. And since it cannot be quantified or cannot be monetized, we cannot use that one to calculate national income. Because national income means what? You are summing up income generated by the farmers who have sold their product. That means to say that what? We need commercial what? Farming to be able to what? Arrive at what? National income. And lastly, problem of classification. Now, if you fail to classify goods under primary sector, under secondary sector, or under tertiary sector, it becomes a problem. Or there are some goods that are not being taxable, or there are some goods you transfer from one person to another. You are not able to work or put it is a problem. Or when you import some goods, the custom duties has to go pay in that goods. And if that custom duty is not paying that goods, or whenever you smuggle a goods and they have not calculated the total income in that what? Taxable on that goods becomes a problem of what? National income.